Hello traders, welcome to marketaddiction.net. Today is Sunday, April 12th, 2009. This video is to recap last week's action. On Thursday, we had a big up day. Dow was up 246 points, the Nasdaq was up 61, S&P 500 was up 31 points. Starting off here with the daily chart of the S&P 500, you can see that we have this 50-day moving average starting to flatten out. Got the 10-day above the 20-day above the 50-day. You can see we had this big gap up here on Thursday. We got above this previous level. Looks like our next step may be a run for right around this level, which is right around $88 on the spiders. Starting to look more constructive in here on the bullish side. With these moving averages stacked nicely, 50-day moving average flattening out, so that's a good sign on the longer term time frame. Looking at the 60-minute chart, you can see that I pointed out this trend line last week, and when we was right around here setting on it, I'd mentioned that we came down to it, but the 5-day moving average was still pointing up at the time. So I said the benefit of the doubt goes to the buyers. It looks like we did get a bounce off of this trend line. We had a gap up and pretty much a run up all day on Thursday. Looking at the 10-minute chart here, you can see that we've had this nice gap up right around this previous resistance level that we had. End of the day, finished strong, roll big volume in here on the end of the day on this push up. 5-day moving average is still inclining. So these are all good signs on the bullish side. The intermediate term time frame is still up. Short-term time frame is up, so we have an uptrend on all the time frames. So it's looking better in here. But you still have to keep in mind, though, that if you look at the even longer-term time frames, like say looking at the weekly chart, we're still in a long-term bear market. We did get a bounce up to and broke past this 20 period, it'll be 20-week moving average in here. So we're still in a downtrend, but things are starting to look a little more constructive on the long side and all the shorter term time frames. Also highlight the Qs in here. I've been looking at these. We had broke above this previous horizontal resistance area, held above it. Also got a good gap up Thursday. Looking at the 60-minute chart, you can see that we had a similar trend line in here in the Qs. 5-day moving average has been inclining for a while. We had a gap up. The Qs wasn't quite as strong. We pretty much consolidated sideways most of the day. And another thing I like to point out is the financials. I've been watching these and highlighting these in my video. They're looking interesting in here. We have this 50-day moving average starting to flatten out, 10-day moving average above the 20-day, above the 50-day. And looking at the 60-minute chart, you can see that we had this resistance level in here with these higher lows coming into it. We had a gap up above it, and then the financials ran pretty much all day. We had pretty decent volume in here on the upside. As you can see here on the daily chart, we had this big volume bar come in on this upside. So we're above this resistance level. And I pointed out it looked like we was maybe forming an inverted head and shoulders in here. So the financials are looking probably the best, actually. And I had mentioned before that I like to see the financials lead this market because looking at the weekly time frame, you can see that these have been pretty much a disaster since about halfway through 07 and all of 08. And the financials led the market down, so I like to see the financials lead the market back up. And I don't know if we could have a very reliable recovery if the financials don't participate. So looking at this daily chart in here and even the 60-minute chart, these are looking pretty good here on the bullish side. I'm not saying I go in and just buy financials right now, but overall, this break of this neckline and this basing pattern we have in here is looking constructive. So keep an eye out for that. If you would like to see the individual stocks on my watch list, be sure to check out my website at marketaddiction.net. If you're just watching this video on YouTube. Be sure to check out the links on the side. Stop back and have a great day.